Wow. All right. That's beefy. Hey, Jeep family. It's Neil with SFJ4x4.com, Simpson Family Jeeps Inc. in Conneaut, Ohio. And I'm coming back at you with another Tech Tuesday update. We're starting here in front of this really awesome JLUR. It is a 2.0 turbo with e-assist. If you know, you know. You've seen this one in here before. It's just got a whole slew of mods. It's just a wicked cool, well set up off-road vehicle. So this big club that I have is one of my industry favorites right now. This is the Iron Rock Off-Road JL Long Arm. As I've mentioned with them as a manufacturer before, they have got the most beautiful compound bends in the industry. Just absolutely one of my favorite. This thing has, you know, at least two, arguably maybe even three bends to it as far as how it exits the bushing to how it terminates at their flex joint. They have a proprietary flex joint. It's important to note that they actually are a full machine shop, and so they're making and tooling out their products. A lot of good suspension manufacturers in the industry, and we work with them all. It's just this is a particular one that I like a lot. It's already installed on the passenger side here of this particular. We just got this installed on. Super cool on this one is actually getting, they're out at the blast shop at the moment, but it's actually getting moto built, weld on, just absolutely, you talk about Jeep beef. This has got the beefiest weld-on sliders, and so those are actually going to occupy basically the outside portion of where the IRO long arm brackets go on. So we actually had to start with the IRO brackets. Then this is actually going to get, or has, a portion of the full R-Tech aluminum skid system. So we're really trying to be weight conscious. So best way to describe this is when you're making a sandwich, you know, your sandwich is bread, meat, cheese, bread. We had to start, we actually added this long arm lift kit at the last minute, and you know, happy that we could do that because the customer was interested in doing it, but we had to do it now so that we could get the Iron Rock long arms put in place and their control arm assembly affixed. This position here is, reasonably speaking, where the original control arms would have gone. And you can see we've got that all cut off, cleaned up, some paint put back on there, and the new long arms are in place. The skid system is going on underneath, and those moto built weld on sliders will actually prep this surface area here and weld those straight to the frame. We'll have a little chassis saver, POR15 product on there, and as the customer uses and abuses them, you can just touch them up at that point. So we have this nice rugged, you know, powder coat, beautiful raw aluminum on that R-Tech skid, and that big beefy moto-built steel will take a beating. This is just a really cool Jeep. We did on this one already. We did. Oh gosh, we've done a little bit of everything as far as lights, and we just did a GMRS stereo or radio on there, and just kind of completely picking away at it. If you've watched any of our previous videos, I'm going to set their control arm down before I get too tired. This is the Expedition 2.0 off-grid trailer, and if you've watched any of our previous videos, this thing is just gnarly. It is built for Armageddon, and customers opting to convert to lithium batteries, which overall is just impressively light in comparison to the standard lead acid that were in there. They'll also have a better capacity for use off-road. And if Davey can pass through here, I think this is locked. Yeah, I would have showed you it has this beautiful pull-out refrigerator that goes here. We're going to be installing a Rotopack. This dual Rotopack here we'll be putting in this vicinity, and just recently we actually hardwired, or in the process of hardwiring, the WeBoost. So we converted the red arc. There's the old batteries. We now have the made in USA lithium batteries in this compartment. You can see the new batteries here. Those are the Battleborns. This is our big beautiful inverter. This little switch right there is actually going to turn on our WeBoost. Customer previously, you can see the WeBoost is mounted up in here. I don't know if Davey can see that. We'll put the light on. We've got all that hardwired in. Customer had all this extra wire. It just is what it is at this point. But turn it off, not in use, lock her down and get on the trail. So really cool piece that we have the opportunity to work on. We'll move forward on this one. Big shout out to PSC coming through. We got a whole new steering gear and pump for trying to lighten up the steering sensitivity on this particular vehicle. We're working through that process at this time. I just love this Jeep. I'm an LJ guy. Obviously, we're shooting next to Chuck Norris there, and that's my baby. It's in for a little bit of fit and finish work. In the background, if you can see, this is, we do everything mild to wild. And so what we have here is Jeff the Italian Stallion has been toiling away. He got the rear axle removed from it. And this is just a reasonably, well, looks can be deceiving, reasonably bone stock. It was like an 04 or 05 TJ. And it had a 2.4 four-cylinder, which if anybody knows, that's probably the motor I hate the most in Jeeps, but whatever, it works. And this one's not bad. It's pretty low mileage. Customer inherited the vehicle and complained that four-wheel drive wasn't working wonderfully and that the rear had this weird feeling to it. What we figured out, if we get over there, they actually had Lincoln locked, and Lincoln locking is the process of welding the spider gears to the side gears. They had actually, whoever owned this previously, had Lincoln locked this little bone stock Dana 35 axle. So you see we had to go in and we had to cut and slice and dice that weld, all that weld puddle, so that we could get the C-clips out, so we could get the axle shafts removed out of the axle. So he spent all day getting his butt whooped on that, and now it's out and ready for further disassembly, and we can set that up for that customer and get him enjoying the Jeep a little bit this summer. We're gonna head outside. So this is one that if you've been following recently, I'm particularly jazzed about. We're calling this the Icon build. 4.5 inches, Icon suspension, Icon vehicle dynamics. It's got the Icon impact bumpers front and rear, fishbone off-road sliders, the GenRight aluminum fender flares and inner liners. It just turns out beautiful and looks so clean. We've got the Fox the Fox Resis. That's a 2.0 performance. Smooth body reservoir, the Fuel Zephyr beadlocks on the Nitto Ridge grapplers. This thing just rides so smooth down the road. And then under the hood, we did up-down air. Underneath the passenger seat bracket, we have the ARB, twin tank, to a really trick little manifold that has the locker solenoids. And then again, the up-down air under here. And then we went ahead and we put the Pulsar, 2020 Pulsar on there for our performance tune. And then using a Flash Cal 3571 to calibrate it all together. This thing just is a dream. Also another full PSE hydro assist system. And we'll look in from here. We've got the TerraFlex high steer knuckles. This is the Icon drag link, which we actually ended up adding an additional kick or bend to clear all of the goodies here. And then, Steer Smart's tie rod. This has got an RT off-road big brake kit and a Black Max, our standard Black Max rear brake system on it as well, just to help this thing, stop those big 37s. A lot of stuff we're seeing in the industry right now is this heat sink technology. So you can tell that has that, this is not the reservoir for the PSE, but this is the large cooling capacity for that PSE hydro assist system. So Customer opted to hold off on the winch for the time being until the market changes and we actually get the winch in that he wants. Currently on national back order. So otherwise, this thing's ready to rock and roll and head back to its owner. We have a slew of Jeeps in waiting right there. We've got the Ruba truck sitting out in the parking lot that we've got to do some transmission diag on. And as we spin back around, we've got a couple cool off-roaders here. The buggy is back. We're going to try and clean up its runnability and see what and why it has a high idle circuit issue. It kind of reminds me of an old carbureted vehicle where you lose low circuit or high circuit, one or the other, and so this one fluctuates. And then we've got that mean crawler on KM3s over there to do some shock and some control arm and some tie rod work. So a lot of stuff going on, folks. I hope you're enjoying these walk-arounds and seeing what's happening in the shop. The guys are working super hard. Those of you who follow enough, you know that I didn't even begin to touch what's going on in the CJ restoration world. I'm going to say this just completely as honest as possible. We have actually taken deposits on summer 2023 vintage and CJ restorations. At this point in time, we are booked and deposits through summer 2023 for our vintage and CJ work. So that's huge. We're looking for qualified people to come in. We're obviously going to vet you, and you're going to have to work with us and maybe add you to our team if you have that mechanical ability, because at this point in time, this process is working and we can't keep up with the demand. So big thanks to you guys for that support and spreading the word and enjoying the Jeeps and watching the videos. And those of you who have not yet been here and who are just watching the videos, I mean, we're getting like 90% of people are watching these videos are not liked and subscribed to it. So what are you waiting for? We want you to do that. We need to know that you're enjoying the content that we're producing, right? We've got another channel for our podcast series. We've got the marketplace reviews. We've got some of our specialty videos and obviously the Tech Tuesday updates. So there's got to be something that you enjoy because we're doing some really cool stuff. Let us know. Say something in the comments below. We love reading those things. We'll respond back to everyone accordingly. Until then, Jeep family, Jeep on.